Good morning. I just wanted to give you the lowdown on drug rehabilitation centres both in Australia and overseas. Firstly, I want to talk about hospitals. Now, hospitals are really good at detox, but then they throw people back out on the street again, and it's sort of like a revolving door. When they're in one door, get detoxed, out again, and I've had people and know of people that have been to rehabs up to 10 times. Now that's sad, because every time they do it, they feel like they failed. The next thing I want to talk about is overseas rehabs. They are an absolutely amazing holiday, if you want to go for a holiday. They usually run a 12-step program in a great location, and usually there's one or two figureheads that have the qualifications, and then they hire a lot of trainee counsellors from all over the world to come in and get their hours up in their facility. When you're dealing with drug and alcohol rehab, you don't want beginners. You want the very best people, trained well, know their stuff, with a program that's really going to work. And then we've got to talk about the places in Australia. Let me tell you a story about a place in Melbourne. There's a lady from one side of Melbourne who booked into a 3-month rehab. She drove from one side of Melbourne to the other side of Melbourne. She booked into the rehab. About an hour and a half later, they put her on a bus and took her to an AA meeting less than a kilometre from where she lived on the other side of Melbourne. And she did about one of those every day. You can stay home and do that. You don't need to go to some place where you shared accommodation and there's a lot of unsavoury people there. You need the best of help. Now, what do I need to look at to get the best possible help? I need a program that deals with the underlying issues. There's a reason why I started taking drugs or drinking too much, either before I'd started doing it or after I started doing it. I need to look at rebuilding the family unit again. I need to look at rebuilding my self-worth. I need to get the tools to deal with life after the program, because that's crucial. Otherwise, I'm going to crash and burn. Then I'm going to need support long term, so that when it does hit the fan, I've got people there to support me, and it will hit the fan. There's going to be defining moments in your life, and you're going to need the best possible team looking after you. This is not a game. Ice has come onto the scene. Alcohol's been on the scene forever. You know, there's a new drug that's now come onto the scene called fentanyl. Now, I was asked to go and open up a place in Canada in August this year, because one person a day is dropping dead in Victoria, BC. That's not Victoria, Australia. That's Victoria, British Columbia in Canada. Police there have got revival kits as they ride their bikes around the town. That's how serious this fentanyl is. It's 50 times more powerful than heroin. Drug dealers are lacing their drugs with it to get people hooked on it. And it's already showed its ugly head in Melbourne and Sydney. This is scary. So before it gets to that stage, let's get the best possible help. Now, what I want you to do is, there's an email where you need to click or a number you need to ring. You'll either get me or one of my psychologists, and they'll talk to you about the best possible place for you. If you know someone that's got a drug or alcohol problem, I want you to give them our number. They may be offended. I don't care. I don't want them to go and waste their money on some place that's going to pay lip service to their drug or alcohol problem. I want them to go to a place that's going to put their family together and give them the tools long term. You know, I've got a lady at the moment who's coming to us that's been taking drugs while she's been pregnant. How sad's that? Because she's got an addiction, she doesn't know any better. By the time she leaves us, that child in her belly and her will be in a better place. We've got families that have been torn apart. Get the advice you need to put them back together again. This isn't a person problem. This is a family problem. This is an abuse problem. It's a violence problem. It's a community problem. So therefore, you've got to share this with every single person you need. Please do it today. Let's say no to drugs. Let's say no to alcohol. Let's get real tools. You can tell by looking at me, I'm a normal bloke. I had an alcohol addiction because of post-traumatic stress. I was in a fatal car accident where a 17-year-old boy was drag racing on the wrong side of the road and hit me head on and died in my arms, chopped in half. That gave me post-traumatic stress. Alcohol was my drug of choice. It's only when I got a holistic approach, where I had doctors, where I had psychologists, where I had natural therapists, where I had Chinese medicine, where I had life skills, where I rebuilt my self-worth. They're all of the things that you need to work on, or someone you know needs to work on today. So it's nearly Christmas. Get in the spirit of Christmas and help someone change their life either over Christmas or first thing in the new year. Don't go to a place that's going to pay lip service. I'll say it again. This is not about a revolving door at a hospital. This is not about a 12-step program where if you take one drink or you take one hit, it's too many and a million's not enough, and I failed, I'm no good, so I might as well get smashed. This is about getting real tools for real situations that are going to stand you in good stead for the rest of your life. My name is Francis, and I promise you, if you take the advice given by me, I will never ever let you down. I implore you, share this with everyone. Contact the numbers down below and the email down below, and either myself personally or Emily, one of my provisional psychologists, will get back and do a treatment plan. You know, let me say something. I know of one retreat where you ring up and the guy that does your treatment plan is a short order cook. Think about it. Get the advice from professionals. Get the team that knows what they're doing. I know of another place that bought it from someone 2 years ago. Now they're saying we've been running for 10 years. How does that work? They're no longer doing the program that was done 10 years ago. They're only doing psychologists only. This isn't about one aspect. This is a holistic approach, using the best of psychology, using the best of medical, the best of Chinese medicine, the best of natural therapy. So help someone by sharing this with them today. If it's your family, take the tough step today, make the inquiry, $1,000 deposit in most cases, get the help you need today. I'm Francis, and I look forward to talking to each and every one of you soon. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.